We have another question. Have you had experience using Cozy or Tenant Cloud to do the background checks?
Yes, we can touch on those. Tenant Cloud is one of the good ones. Cozy's not bad either. You just have to remember with these services, those are big investors. They throw something at the wall and they see what sticks. So with Cozy, Tenant Cloud, Buildium, even a lot of the softwares, not just the online applications for background checks, but a lot of times they're going after the main services, the credit, criminal, and eviction. So those services are pretty standard. You can get them most anywhere you go. The credit, is either going to be Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion. But those softwares a lot of times use something from the credit bureau. So for instance, TransUnion has what's called Smart Moves. Buildium, for instance, uses that with their platform. So they're giving you a good software with the background check being an afterthought. And there's a bunch of them that do that. I'm not tied to any of these guys. So AppFolio, Propertyware, that's why most of my clients all these years have went outside of their software, which is a big deal, to leave the streamlined effect of everything, go outside of that, use a different background check, and then bring that information back into your software. The people that you place in that property, and I know we've talked about this and I get passionate, that is your return. That tenant is your sole means of getting a return on your investment. So it's a difference of spending $35 on a background check or $50 on a background check. So you're talking $15 difference for an all-inclusive package that has everything you need, to where some of the smaller to mid-level companies can really cater to you. You're not just an invoice number, but you actually have a direct in, you can call, you have a person of contact and that good stuff. But the things that they should be doing right off the top, of course, credit, criminal, eviction, and then current landlord, prior landlord, making those actual phone calls. Some of them will require you to email or fax in that verification, which again, helps to have a company that does that for you. That way they're set up for it. They send those forms, boom, everything's streamlined. But yeah, current, prior landlord, the employer, and then also the verification of bank deposit.
Yeah. And the one thing that I found is very useful is that the verifications that some of these companies have people on staff that are making those calls for you and verifying all this information for you. Because think about how much time that can take a leasing agent, for someone who has a property management company and they have all of these applications coming in every single day. When we were interviewing that one property management company, Jason, they said that it was like they'll try calling for like 3 days to get that landlord verification.
They actually call for 5 days. Their process, when I looked at it, I was really pleased because they include all those things. And one of the things that they also had too was the work number verification. So in full verification, something that we deal with in corporate companies is they will not perform their own employment verifications. They outsource that to a company actually called the work number. And so when you call them to verify that, they'll say, here's our work number code. Call them, they'll give it to you. But that work number, it can be anywhere, there's an added fee to that. And it's going to be different depending on what certain companies' volumes are, if they can even access it. But one of the things that tenantreports.com that I had never seen before, and to my knowledge, I believe they're the only ones that have it, is an in to the work number database, so that they just hit it right off the top. So that's the very first thing that goes out, is a work number verification, which verifies their employment. You want to make sure that that person still has steady income. So in verifying the employment and verifying the verification of bank deposits, you can feel so much better that you made a good business decision.
Jason, how would someone find out that information about the tenant screening they're using right now?
They would just ask their software, who are you using? And I think you put my Instagram handle on there at WagSwag with 2 G's on the WAG. But yeah, you feel free to DM me if anybody has any questions or in the chat or however. But